desolate highway, my gas tank's warning light blinked ominously, reminding me of my need to find fuel. The barren landscape stretched on for miles, and just when I thought I would be stranded in the darkness, a lone gas station emerged like a mirage. Its neon sign flickered feebly, casting an eerie glow on the surrounding area. Relieved, I pulled in, but the sense of foreboding wouldn't leave my mind. As I approached the gas station, a shiver ran down my spine. The air was heavy with an oppressive stillness, and an unsettling silence engulfed the place. There were no sounds of activity, no humming of refrigerators, or the chatter of people. It was as if time had frozen in this forsaken place. The station attendant's booth stood empty, and the windows were covered in a thick layer of grime. Ignoring my growing unease, I stepped out of the car, my footsteps echoing eerily in the silence. As I reached for the gas pump, a gust of wind blew, carrying a faint whisper with it. It was almost imperceptible, but it seemed to say, "Leave while you still can." I shook off the strange feeling, attributing it to my tired mind playing tricks. The station itself appeared long, abandoned, a relic of a bygone era. The faded posters on the walls advertised long-expired promotions, and the dated machinery seemed frozen in time. The eerie atmosphere intensified as I filled my tank, but the low fuel warning was far from the only reason for the chill running down my spine. As I walked back towards my car, my eyes caught a glimpse of movement from the corner of the station. I turned to see a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Panic surged through me, and my heart pounded in my chest. But when I blinked and looked again, there was no one there. I tried to dismiss it as a trick of the fading light. Returning to my car, I noticed an old, worn-out notebook sitting on the passenger seat. I had no recollection of placing it there, and as I opened it, I found pages filled with incomprehensible scribbles and drawings. The illustrations depicted unsettling symbols and figures that seemed to seep malevolence. The whispers returned, soft but persistent, swirling around me like a haunting melody. Fear gripped me, and I felt trapped in the sinister ambience of the station. The sense of being watched grew more palpable, and I decided to leave immediately. But as I turned the ignition, the engine remained lifeless. Panic surged through me as I tried again and again, but to no avail. It was as if the gas station had ensnared me in its clutches, refusing to let me escape. I glanced at the notebook, feeling an inexplicable pull to its pages. As I flipped through them, a sense of dread washed over me. The drawings seemed to come alive, writhing and contorting on the page. The symbols etched in the notebook emanated an aura of darkness, and I knew I had stumbled upon something beyond my comprehension. In my desperation, I stepped out of the car and ran towards the gas station. But the moment I set foot inside, the door slammed shut behind me, sealing me in darkness. The eerie whispers intensified, merging into a chorus of haunting voices that echoed through the station. I stumbled through the shadows, guided only by the flickering neon light outside. Every corner seemed to harbor a new terror, a lurking malevolence that clawed at my sanity. I could feel eyes on me, watching from the shadows, unseen but ever present. As I reached the station attendant's booth, I saw a tattered piece of paper pinned to the wall. It bore a chilling message, written in a scrawling hand. "Leave or be trapped forever." My heart pounded in my chest, torn between escape and the fear of what would happen if I stayed. I made a desperate dash towards the exit, but the moment I touched the door handle, an overwhelming force pushed me back. The gas station seemed to come alive, its walls pulsating with an unnatural energy. I was trapped, ensnared in its sinister grasp, As the whispers closed in on me, I realized that the gas station was not what it seemed. It was a portal to a malevolent dimension, a place where lost souls were held captive in eternal torment. I had unknowingly stumbled upon a gateway to the other side. The gas station had become my prison, a place where time stood still and where the living and the dead existed in a haunting dance. In the suffocating darkness, I knew that I would forever remain a part of its sinister facade. Another lost soul, ensnared in the clutches of the abandoned oasis. I imagined that a mundane stop at a gas station would lead me down a harrowing path of terror and desperation. It was a desolate night, and my fuel gauge hovered precariously close to empty. The glow of the gas station sign beckoned like a guiding light, promising salvation amidst the darkness. As I pulled into the station, an eerie stillness engulfed the surroundings. The fluorescent lights hummed above, casting a sickly pallor over the scene. There was an unsettling emptiness to the place, as if it existed in a state of perpetual abandonment. My instincts urged me to leave, but with no other stations in sight, I had no choice but to proceed. As I approached the lone pump, a feeling of unease crept up my spine. The station attendant, clad in an old, weathered uniform, stared blankly from behind the counter. His eyes held a distant emptiness, and I couldn't shake the sensation that he wasn't truly present. My polite greetings went unanswered, adding to the suffocating silence. As the pump dispensed the fuel, an ominous clicking noise resonated through the air. It seemed to echo from the depths of the gas station itself, a haunting reminder of its age and decay. I glanced around, feeling an inexplicable presence, watching me from the shadows. Yet the station remained seemingly deserted. As I returned to my car, a shiver ran down my spine. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, and the oppressive atmosphere pressed down upon me like a weight. The pump handle slipped from my grasp, clattering to the ground, and my heart skipped a beat. The silence felt deafening, almost as if the world had ceased to exist beyond this forsaken place. With a sense of urgency, I hurried back into my car and turned the ignition, hoping to escape the haunting grip of the gas station. But as I pressed on the gas pedal, the engine sputtered and died. Panic set in, and I tried again, with no success. My heart pounded as I realized I was trapped, a prisoner to the sinister station. I made my way back to the counter, seeking assistance from the attendant, but he remained motionless, like a forgotten statue. My voice trembled as I called out to him, pleading for help, but my words seemed to vanish into the void. In a last-ditch effort, I reached for the phone behind the counter, only to find it lifeless, devoid of any connection to the outside world. Desperation consumed me, and I resolved to leave the station on foot to seek help from the nearest town. But the moment I stepped outside, I was met with an impenetrable darkness. The fluorescent lights that once illuminated the station now flickered ominously, casting haunting shadows that seemed to dance menacingly around me. I stumbled back inside, my heart racing, and found the attendant standing in the same spot, unmoving. His hollow eyes bore into me, a reflection of my own fear and uncertainty. The atmosphere grew suffocating, as if the very air itself was tainted with malevolence. I was trapped in a nightmarish limbo, where time seemed to have lost all meaning. In my despair, I noticed an old newspaper on the counter, dated decades ago. It spoke of a tragic incident at the gas station, where a catastrophic explosion claimed multiple lives, and the station was condemned and abandoned. The souls of those lost were said to haunt the place, forever bound to its forsaken grounds. As I read the chilling tale, a gust of wind slammed the door shut behind me, leaving me in complete darkness. Panic gripped my heart, and I could feel their presence closing in on me. I knew then that I was not alone. The spirits of the deceased lingered, vengeful and restless, and I was their unwitting guest. Haunted by the shadows of the past, I now find myself trapped in this forsaken gas station, a place where time stands still and the souls of the departed roam. I can hear their whispers in the darkness, beckoning me to join them in their eternal torment. My only hope is that someday, someone will come and set me free from this living nightmare. Until then, I am condemned to wander the desolate station, forever lost in its chilling embrace. Always found gas stations to be peculiar places, transient stops along endless highways, existing as hubs of activity during the day, but transforming into desolate wastelands under the veil of night. Little did I know that one fateful encounter at a remote gas station would unravel a terrifying tale of horror and otherworldly forces. It was a moonless night when my car's fuel gauge hovered precariously close to empty. Panic set in as I scoured the desolate highway, my eyes desperately seeking a glimmer of hope. And there it was, a lone gas station materializing from the darkness. Like a mirage in the barren landscape, as I pulled into the station, a chilling sensation swept over me. The air grew dense, carrying an unspoken warning that reverberated through my bones. The flickering fluorescent lights bathed the surroundings in an eerie glow, casting long, haunting shadows that danced across the cracked pavement. The station attendant's booth stood ominously empty, a ghostly reminder of the station's abandonment. Its windows were grimy, as if to prevent anyone from peering inside, and the air whispered with a lingering silence that belied an untold secret. An unnerving hush settled over the station, leaving me with an unshakable sense of dread. Attempting to shake off my unease, I grabbed the nozzle and began fueling my car. But as the gas flowed, an unsettling sensation crept up my spine. A subtle movement in the periphery of my vision caught my attention. A flicker of movement in the dimly lit distance. I turned, but found nothing but shadows lurking amidst the darkness. A strange feeling of being watched washed over me, intensifying with every passing moment. The station seemed to come alive with unseen eyes, observing my every move. Whispers, soft and indistinct, slithered through the air, their origin impossible to pinpoint. My heartbeat quickened, and an unexplainable terror gripped my soul. Uneasy and yearning to escape the oppressive atmosphere, I retreated to my car. The flickering lights cast eerie, disjointed shadows across the cracked pavement, creating a disorienting spectacle. As I turned the ignition key, a mechanical groan reverberated through the air, followed by a jarring silence. The car refused to start. Panic surged within me as I attempted to reignite the engine, the whispers growing louder and more urgent. Each attempt to flee was met with mechanical resistance, as if the gas station itself held me captive within its realm. Desperation consumed me, as the whispers seemed to swell into a cacophony of disembodied voices, foretelling my impending doom. In a last-ditch effort to break free, I stepped out of the car and surveyed my surroundings. The flickering lights cast sinister, elongated shadows that seemed to writhe with a life of their own. The air grew thick with a malevolence I couldn't comprehend, and the whispers encircled me, their words slipping into my mind like venomous serpents. A glimmer of hope ignited within me as I noticed a payphone nearby. With trembling hands, I reached for the receiver and dialed for help, but my pleas were met with an eerie silence. No dial tone, no human voice, only an abyss of emptiness, as if the phone line had been severed from the world outside. With each passing moment, the whispers grew more insistent, their message clear. I was not meant to leave. Darkness enveloped the gas station, suffocating the feeble light that fought to pierce through the night. Shadows lengthened, merging into a malevolent force that sought to devour me whole. As I stood in the heart of the gas station's nightmare, I came to a terrifying realization. I had stumbled upon an ancient nexus, a gateway to realms beyond our understanding. The station, a mere facade in the physical world, served as a conduit for supernatural forces that hungered for mortal souls. In a final act of defiance, I braved the suffocating darkness, pushing through the veil of malevolence that cloaked the gas station. With every step, I could feel the whispers clawing at my sanity, a chorus of tormented souls yearning for release. The barrier shattered as I emerged into the open night, gasping for breath, as if I had escaped the clutches of death itself. Haunted by the horrors witnessed at that abandoned oasis, I carry the scars of that night within me. The gas station stands as a testament to the unseen forces that exist beyond our comprehension. A chilling reminder that sometimes the most ordinary places can hide the darkest secrets,